Alright, checking if I'm live. Yeah, it looks pretty much like this. Looks pretty much like I'm live. Nice. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is day number 59 of building my business and showing you how I built my business or how I am building my business. The idea behind all of this is that first, form a community of people, and second, show how a real business is getting built. Not all of this blah 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 drop shipping blah 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 stuff that you see on the internet. And I want to show kind of like a little bit behind the scenes what it actually feels like and looks like to run or build a business. I've been doing it for the streaming itself for 59 days, and I've been founder full time for a little over than 6 months. And I learned in this month that it's actually harder than it looks, and it's actually easier than it looks. This is a little bit controversial. So first, what I learned is that actually starting as soon as you make one step that you thought is actually super hard, it's actually not that hard. This and for example, starting a business. I thought when I wanted to start a business, I thought it's so hard. When I started, I see it like, hey, come on, that's quite easy. Now what I struggle with is to make any substantial amount of money. And this month, I had 2 3 students finishing their mentoring with me. So basically, my whole revenue has dropped, I think, from like around 3 4 thousand to a little bit more over the thousand, which basically means that right now with all my business I am kind of losing money, not earning, which sucks. So we developed this platform. This is basically why I started this whole series. This gonna go to me so that I can see what you write here. First, let me actually write here. Welcome to the day. You can see it. Oop. That goes here. Welcome to the day 59. Join Discord here. And okay. Cosmic, hi. So I'm exactly telling how it's going. So we've got, I would say it goes well on certain cases, and in certain cases I would say it goes quite not good. And those cases where it goes not good, we're gonna try to fix today. So this is the platform that I initially started with. The biggest showstopper right now for me is the fucking Germany not giving me a visa. It means that I cannot connect any payment systems like Stripe, PayPal, and so on. I also cannot get paid on, for example, Gumroad. So I cannot really launch a big course that I wanted. But because I'm running low on money now, or at least I would say we are losing money every month. And I do have money for, like, even if we're gonna be losing money like this, I'm still gonna be able to go for a year without earning money, right? So I think I have I have a little bit of money that I saved before through my work, through my job as a developer, and so on. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to burn through money. So basically, what I will do is I'm gonna try to find people on my wait list or on my email list who wanna go just do one-to-one mentoring. I think it's a good. I kind of don't want to do one-to-one mentoring that much anymore, but right now because I don't have a visa, I'm kind of forced to do that. Yeah. So that's my plan, and yeah, for now, for today, the first thing that we do, and we only have 20 minutes left. The first thing that we do, I need to do this post. This is the first thing that I'm gonna do today. Let me write down what is the plan for today. So the plan is today first, and I'm kind of a little bit in a hurry because today, first, LinkedIn post. This is important because that's if I don't do this, I'm not sure if I will be able to earn any money. All right, this one thing, and another thing, create create email sequence. Hi, welcome for one-to-one one-to-one mentoring. This is what I have. This is my idea. I'm gonna speak a little bit about this later once we do the LinkedIn post, because I only have 20 minutes left till the LinkedIn post, so I need to be quick with this. Maybe small group. Maybe small group instead. So I have really a lot of conflicting thoughts, and let's see. Maybe you can help me. Maybe I will, while speaking, I will be able to to tell what's to make a decision. So, but for now, let's do the post. I spent on this post quite a bit of time, and something that I don't have is I don't have here the covering page, but I have already basically everything. Let me just go one by one, quite quick about this. So I have the first page, then I speak that there are 3 levels on how to architect your triggers. Then I said that we handled this one. Handlers still got a few problems. Trigger contain logic, no recursion. Then I show the trigger layer. I show this one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we need to style up those things, and it's gonna be quick. Let's do that. Let me put here on my timer. Duration 10 minutes. In 15 minutes, I must have the post. Hi, Illuminati. Let me find trigger framework, trigger action framework. Say something unique about the future of computer science. Okay, guys, after I do the post, let's do that. For now, 15 minutes pure focus on the post.
So you're not really doing a unit test when you test trigger logic in using these existing frameworks. You're kind of doing more so like an integration test where you're testing all of the stuff that happens when the opportunity. And you can do it where it's clean and simple like this, where you have these one-liner method calls and you control their sequential execution, but it still is less than ideal. There are also some other things about the existing, just gets longer and longer and longer. And like I said, you're supposed to only have one automation tool per S object. So that means that the order of execution, specific methods, where you just have these one-liner method calls. You pass the trigger.new every time you need new logic. you need to modify the trigger handler itself. Right? And keep in mind, this is super clean. This is really well architected. You can tell that the pattern has been followed. There's been a lot of thought that's put into this. If I came into a Salesforce project and I took a look at their triggers and they were written like this, I would applaud whoever came before me because they did a fantastic job. But the problem is like I said, it just continues to require additional modification for all of your new trigger logic. So eventually, what happens is your after insert method just gets longer and longer and longer. And like I said, you're supposed to only have one automation tool per S object. So that means that you're going to have all of the teams who manage automation on opportunity S object must be responsible for maintaining this opportunity trigger handler class. So there's this one class that has this multiple responsibilities, and it's owned by multiple teams, and it requires
Alright, I think that's good. We need to come up now with this one. Damn, I hate it. Thank you, David. I hate to do it so in a rush. See. Why? Ah, shit. Just come on, just make it smaller. Yeah, I see. Nah, that sucks. Oh, come on. Oh, just a line. Okay, I think that's good enough. It is a bit different from my usual style. It is different. But let's try it out. Let's try it out. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna work. Maybe it won't. Let's see. Because usually if you look at this, for example, this is much better than what I have now. But because I only have 2 minutes, let's download this whole thing. Looks good. Done. Post. Bam. Post done. Whew. That was hard. That was really hard. Oh my god. Did you see this 15 minutes of basically sprinting through finishing the post? Oof. And it's not all. It's not all. We still need to do one more thing. We still need to add comments there. Because why not? I have a rule. So I have a rule whenever I do something. If you wanna that other people do it, just do it yourself. So if you, for example, want that people comment under your posts, then go and comment yourself. Da-da-da-da. Welcome. Let me check who subscribed. Farianit. Welcome. Whew. I know, I'm still stressed a little bit because of this sprint of 15 minutes to finish the post. You know what? I was sitting in my room. I was eating my rice here, rice with chicken. I was eating. And I was like, wait a second, I kind of feel that I have some pending task that I haven't done. And then I look at the time, and it's like 4 o'clock. And I still have to finish few things before. And then I remember that I didn't post. I didn't prepare the post. I didn't schedule anything for today. I have to post. And I had this post prepared in the last couple of days. But you see, it still has to be finished to some degree. Especially the landing page, the first page is really not good. Like, I should have spent more time on the landing page. But it is what it is. It is better than nothing. It is better than nothing, really. It is better. Okay. Is the post already here? Yes, it's here. Nice. So, well, let's write few things. So, first thing that I do is I usually write something like bonus here. So pin bonus. How can I see trigger framework? Well, it's, and here I usually don't write any. The big gamer hype. I usually don't write here any kind of, how you call it, any kind of copywriting stuff. Like, I'm not trying to hook people or something. Just let my mind speak, basically. How can I see trigger? Um, Station of trigger framework of the trigger framework. If you want to use one for your project, you need follow these steps. I should have prepared it before, but so here's the steps how to decide if you need a trigger framework. First, most likely you don't need it. Okay, again, someone speaking Russian on my stream. How long can it happen? We don't speak here Russian. Decide if you actually need it. If yes, what kind of functionality should it have? What kind of functionality should it have? Now let's make it shorter. Let's make it shorter. Decide if you actually map out what should it be doing, what trigger handlers can't. Search for a GitHub repo with the framework and see which one how to say it, which one satisfies your which one solves your problems. For we don't speak Russian because I hate Russian. What an easy answer. Install. Well, I kind of think that I should sometimes I really feel that I should how to say it, to tune down my voice around Russian and all of that, because I know how people see it, especially in the West, especially in Germany where I live. But for now, I just speak whatever I feel. I speak whatever I feel. If I hate something, why should I pretend I don't hate it? Right? I think so. Okay, step number 3, install install/upload. Number 4. Okay, so usually people go for this one. Apex trigger framework. Trigger framework GitHub. Not this one. What the hell is this one? Yeah, this one. We used another one, I think. This one. Write your own or modify as you want the existing one. Oh, okay. Looks like people like it. Nice. Nice. Oh, you can see that even this small thing that was basically already almost done took me. I've been streaming what 33 minutes. I've been streaming for 33 minutes. It took me 33 minutes to finish this post, even though I had already so much done, right? So it basically shows you that whenever you have an expectation that, oh, I'm gonna start creating content, creating really good content takes huge amount of time, huge amount of time. So just take it into consideration. I have a friend who started posting on LinkedIn, and he says that it takes him so much time, and he was never like, number one thing that he didn't expect how much time it's gonna take is like, actually, like, no, number one thing that he didn't expect is how much time it's gonna take. And then he asked me, is it normal that I'm spending on like just simple text post, I'm spending like 3-4 hours? And I said, that's not much. That's totally normal. Like, if you really want to write good content, it's gonna take you so much time. And this is why I think that I might be doing something wrong. I don't know. I kind of feel like that maybe I'm doing something wrong because look at this. There's so many businesses who work without creating any content. So is it possible that I'm doing something wrong? Like, am I doing like just I don't know. Maybe it's not needed what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. I don't think I'm wasting my time. But who knows? Who knows? And the best part, I already have the next post scheduled. Here, this one. It's gonna be. Oh wait, it's scheduled on the March 12th. Ah, damn it. Scheduled on the March 12th. All right. Okay. Okay, so it means that if it's on March 12th, then I still need to come up for the next week with to post. And see, this is the problem. I wrote here that I have spent on this 15 plus hours. Why Microsoft Edge, by the way? Because Microsoft Edge is the best browser. Controversial, right? Whenever I'm using Microsoft Edge on Mac, how about this? Yeah, one of the biggest reasons. First, I like this. I like Copilot. Um, let's test it out, by the way, Copilot. So download, if I open here, yeah, I open this one and then I say Copilot, oops, no, what, stop responding, stop, not what I wanted. Precise, what, summarize this page. Summarize this page. Okay, got it. This page is about how to architect triggers in Salesforce using trigger framework. Look at this. It can read this documentation. It can understand what's going on here. And it's for free. Yes, 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 it's for free. That's the thing. It is for free, yes. Benefits, so it summarizes here different things. It can read here the PDF. It's nice thing. I don't really use it that much, but it's really nice. It's really nice. This is reason number one. The second reason is that these vertical tabs, they are awesome. They are so much better. Let me show you. This is Arc, right? This is the most well-known browser. So you trigger here those. Okay, they changed a little bit. So you trigger them here. Let's say we're googling blah blah blah, right? You trigger them like this, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. I don't like this whole thing of moving it here and then only then they pop up. I don't like it. And yeah, and I don't know, it's kind of stupid. I want to have Arc exactly the same. Like, the implementation of this page is so much better than in Arc. So I like them. And this Copilot thing, and in general, it feels like a really, really good browser. Yeah. That's my stance on it. Okay. So, and you see, this is the biggest problem, because now when I spend 15 hours doing this post, it might get like 20,000 views. It might also get just 10,000 views, but it might also get 50,000 views. But the point is, like, I need to do all of this every week, and every week I need to come up with new things, and that's, it's so draining. This is draining because you feel the pressure that all the time you have to go and create all the time, and it's not enough to create something. You have to be always top of the game, so you always have to try to make the best content piece as you can. And it's hard. If you're trying to make the best that you can, it means that you're constantly pushing yourself to the limits. And it's hard. This is hard. Like, this is really hard. Widhan, hi. What's up? Like, it's hard. I don't know. It's not that I'm quitting anytime soon, right? But still, I'm kind of in this hamster wheel with content creation, and the thing is that I'm not sure that it really directly contributes into my paycheck. I would be okay if I would be earning like just huge amount of money, but look at this. I don't. It's one thing to actually go and get subscribers and views, and totally another thing to monetize on them. This is a totally different skill set. This is totally different approach that you have to take. And this is something that I could not understand before. Like, before I thought that, oh, okay, the more viral post I make, the better. No. Because what you're trying to optimize for is not for views. Why do you need views except just of ego, right? It feels nice to have like 15k. Like, I still wanna get to 15k subscribers, right? But what does do to you? Like, nothing. I'm still streaming from my kitchen as before. So it's still basically the same thing. And yeah, so I think that I kind of understand how to make good posts now on LinkedIn, or relatively good, but I think I don't really understand how to convert all of this into actually paying customers, or to monetize on it. And I do these posts. It's not like I don't have any audience in mind, right? Because whenever you Google this problem, what you see is that people say, okay, you cannot just create posts. You need to define an audience. Who are you creating the post for, right? You need to define like a narrow set of people who you think that this post is for. Yeah, it is hard to make good content. It is super hard. It is super hard. And once you identify, Zodiac, hi. Once you identify what people do you target, it's, yes, you can, it's not a cure. It's not a cure. You can make a highly specialized content, but not monetizing it. That's the thing. Like this is exactly my situation. I am writing here. This is very, very specific. It is as specific as it can get. I am teaching Apex. This is exactly what what I am doing as my business. But it does not convert directly to the money. And you know why? One of the reasons, because I never ask for it. Like if you go to all my posts, let's go to all my posts for the last, let's do it. And this is the realization that I only realized right now. This is so obvious. This is so obvious. And you know why I realized it? I'm going to tell you. But for now, let's see how many times I asked people to go and either buy my stuff or have any kind of mentoring or anything. Where are you originally from? I'm from Ukraine. That's why I hate Russians. Russian language, let's say. So, this post, 0 sales. Comments, 0 sales. This post, 0 sales. This post, 0 sales, 0, 0, 0, 0, nothing. And like this, you go through all my posts for the last like 5 months, and I have never sold a single thing. And then I'm going back and I'm wondering, why is it that I don't have that much of revenue? Well, you have never asked about it. Like, have I ever asked people on LinkedIn to go and buy my stuff? No. Like, what the hell? How they're even supposed? I bet like 90% of the people don't even know that they can buy something from me. How they're supposed to know that they supposed to give me money or something? What the hell? And I realized this thing, that in the last 5 months, basically since launching the last course, I have never asked anyone for any type of sale. I didn't make any sale. Imagine, I did not even try. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. How can I expect my revenue to go up if I don't sell at all? If I don't make any kind of movements into selling? This is so stupid. Like, this is really so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, what do I think? What do I think? Like, really. So now what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. I have my email list. You're from Ukraine, and you're speaking Russian on the streams. What the hell, man? Come on, Ukrainians, you can do better. Don't speak Russian. How am I supposed to know that you're not a fucking Russian? I'm supposed to know. I also hear it a lot on the streets, like people just going here, Ukrainians speaking Russian. What the hell? Okay, anyway, that's not the point, because I can go into this stuff for a very long time. The point is that I have to start selling to people. Obviously. And the first thing that I want to try to sell is my one-to-one mentoring. This is what I want to try to sell. At least I don't mean sell, but like by using any dirty tactics or something. No, I just want to let people know that I have this mentoring stuff that I do. And you know what is the realization? Why did I have this basically genius thought? The reason behind this genius thought is that I calculated my revenue and I realized that each month we're burning money instead of earning. This is what I realized. So, yeah. So this is obviously not good. This is obviously not good. And I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna try to fix it. So basically the plan for today. The plan for today would be to understand what do I want to sell from what I can. uh, from what I can. I'm gonna explain in a second. Okay, so Ore, what you write, my recommendation is not to talk to other while doing deep work. I had read a lot of books on this, but it is true indeed. Never have I spoken to others or used phone while doing important tasks. Huh? What do you mean? I mean, streaming isn't streaming supposed to be me talking to you? Yeah, I could do a silent stream. I could probably do a silent stream, where I'm just sitting there and you just watch me working. uh, no, when I do focus, I usually don't speak. But this speaking out, it actually helps me. I don't know about other people, but it does help me. It does help me with structuring my thoughts, basically. Yeah. By the way, look at this LinkedIn. So we posted 22 minutes ago, and it already has like 1,000 impressions. That's the power of LinkedIn. Because try to do any other social media where you can have like this. It's gonna be super hard, especially YouTube, for example. And still, creating a LinkedIn post, even if I complain that how much it takes significantly less time than actually shooting a YouTube video, a good one. It's hard to stop speaking Russian when all your relative friends speak it. Well, I stopped speaking Russian when I was like 13, and don't regret. Even though all people around were speaking Russian. But I see what you I totally see what you mean. That's a big problem in Ukraine. So, one of the things that I don't really know. Here's my problem. I would say I have a decent audience. And I have targeted audience. So I have people who are interested into learning Apex. I have 600 people on the email list, and I have 500 on the another email list, and I have 200 people in the waiting list for the course. So I definitely have some interest into what I'm selling. The problem is that I cannot connect a payment system. So I cannot do a huge big launch as I wanted, where you can just basically go and automatically sell everything. What I can do though is that I can generate for each individual person an invoice and let them pay this invoice. This is what I can do. But it means that the scale of this thing is gonna be less, right? Yeah. So here's what I want to decide. Okay, so here's first before I decide my problem. Here's my problem, and let me actually write it down. A problem. We need plus 1k revenue a month. We need plus 1k a month as quick as, let's say, not as quick as possible, this month, next month, depending what you count. Let's already count that it's not February. Let's say it's already March. In March. So I need to add 1,000 a month revenue. Ideally quite quick. Because if I don't do this, Nilu, hi, but please don't spam. This is what I need. Now I have a couple of choices here. I have a couple of choices. First choice. One mentoring. And the second choice, let's say small group. Small group of people. This one is easier to sell, and I'm quite sure that I will be able to find. This one, easier to run. One of the problems that I have is that I cannot take too many students, because as soon as I take too many students, they take up all the place in my mind, and they take up all my time that I have, and I end up not doing the LinkedIn posts, for example, or not doing all the other stuff, not streaming, not like just not doing anything. So I kind of trade more money. So basically short-term benefit over the long-term harm. And I have to balance those things. So I can take on the mentoring, I can take only 2 people. I would say plus 2, maybe 3. I would say plus 2 people. Here, I can take 5 people. If I take a small group, I can take 5 people. Now the question is, how do I decide what to do? How do I decide what to do? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any idea, guys? It's definitely not me who should be deciding this thing, right? It should be more kind of a market deciding. The thing is that I don't want to make a super long commitment. So here's my concern also with this one. The concern is it's actually the course that I wanted to launch anyway. Why don't I just try to launch the whole big course? Like, that's there's no difference between this one, just the difference is just the amount of people, that's it. I don't like I don't know. I wish there was someone who could guide me. I don't have anyone to like ask those questions. What should I do? I don't know. It's the course. Cult, hi. Is the course. Why not? Here to guide us, senpai. Exactly. I wish someone was guiding me. Why not launching the course? It's not launching the course. This is my basically the communication in my head that I have. Why not launching the course? Why not launching the course? And it has a reason, and the reason is I don't have payment system. Right? So this is quite a strange path for me. When I speak about, okay, what if we take like a group of people and let's say each of them pays like 500 a month, and we try to get them where they want to be. Um, we try to make them to coders, to developers. Um, why don't you just try to like just do the normal launch as I have everything prepared for a normal launch? And then the second thought in my head, okay, you can't because you don't have the payment system. But how you gonna do it with the 5 people? Well, I'm just gonna send them individual invoice. With 5 people, I can do it. I just cannot do it like in automated manner. I cannot do Stripe. I cannot do like automate stuff where you basically. But if I need to find a way so that individual person pays, I will be able to find it. And this is significantly better business model because it takes less time. And for this one, it's a lot of commitment, and I don't know, I get really burnt out on this part. I really get burnt out on this part. Yeah, let's see how is LinkedIn post performing. Oh my god, can I Ugh. India. Like people from India really like my post for whatever reason. I don't know what's the reason, but yeah, but they seem to like it. 36 people. Yeah, so basically it's kind of a sign. If you have the same amount of likes with the same amount of minutes, it's gonna be performing okayish. So by okayish I mean like it's gonna be over 100 likes usually, but not above like 500 or 600. So it's not gonna be like huge. It's not gonna be 50 or 70k post in terms of impressions, but it's gonna be just decent. That's usually the sign. Darshan, hi. Yeah, I'm late. I'm late today because I had a lot of stuff to do. Had a lot of meetings that were unrelated. For example, my website doesn't work anymore. Look at this. Let me write the guys who are responsible for my website. Okay. Let me write them. Oops. This one. yeah, so that's basically my. That's fine. It's not bad. It's fine. Yeah, I know that something is not working here as well. I am mute. I'm not mute. Okay, Zodiac, please don't spam like one message. One word with one message. Yeah, we got like I got the website down, but for whatever reason, I don't know. I think they're gonna take care of it. I just wrote them. I just wrote basically the guys who are doing for me the website. So this is what I was trying to think. Um, maybe how it's gonna be if enough if enough people. I think that's the way I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna go. It kind of makes sense the most. So I'm gonna asking people. Hmm. Well, if I'm gonna be selling the one-to-one mentoring, I don't really know if that. Yeah, it won't be a good idea if. How much are you charging for one-to-one mentoring? So I charge $1,000 a month for unlimited and 500 a month for for just the normal one twice a week. Unlimited. Well, I call it unlimited, but basically it's for people who are, for example, um, working. You can't take my time. Nah. Unlimited. It's once a day. That's what I call unlimited. It's for people who are, for example, on the job search. They have all the time in the world, and they want to go through the program as quick as humanly possible. And they have nothing else to do at all in their life, just basically sitting and doing Apex all the time, all the day. Then it makes sense that we can move every day very, very, very quick. Um, yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. But my price that I'm gonna be charging now will be 500 a month. And I think for 500, I mean, it's like it's way too cheap. 500, it's way too cheap. But because I kind of need to get at least 1K a month of revenue, I do need to do it. And again, there's no one. That's the biggest problem. There's no one here to guide me, and I guess this is the biggest problem in the entrepreneurship. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Is 500 what I should charge? Maybe I should try to increase it to like 800, which would be more fair. Um, what if I take people into the small group? What if I don't charge 800? What if I charge 500? And for 500, I put them into small group and I basically streamline that, right? The teaching, for example, the theory teaching, but then I lose the mentoring part where basically the selling point of the mentoring is that people can move with the speed as they want. This is basically this is the mentoring. Yeah, so for that, let me do a few things. So I'm gonna come up here with few emails. And here what's gonna happen. I have few students who finished. So I have Evaldes here, who is quite known in the ecosystem, and he finished today was our last meeting. So he finished it. And that's gonna be tomorrow. So it's gonna be 1st, 3rd, 2024. And after that, I'm gonna prepare email number 1. Come on. Email 1. Email 2. And email 3. And keep in mind, all of this that I'm doing, I'm forced to do it because German government is so stupid and they don't give me visa for 7 months. I hate it so much. If you have good quality in mentoring, you can charge high. People will pay for quality. Yeah, I think my program is the best on the market. Like this is by far the best program you can ever get. And I do have really good results. I have people going from no zero coding knowledge at all to writing their own components and writing triggers and deploying their own code in like 7 months, which is super quick. Like that's super quick. Working while working full time as an admin, so basically doing it just a couple of hours a week. So I'm super confident about the results itself. I think I should be charging more actually. Let me try to charge more. Why do I 500? I think let's do I don't know, I'm just gonna come up with a number later. Let me see what would be. Yeah, because I know that my program works and I know that it's the best quality program on the market. First of March. Second of March. Third. How do you write third? Like third March? Fourth? How do you write okay. First. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 emails. 4, 5 emails. But before I do that, let me plug my email list here, Beehive, because people kind of, I think, forgot about. But I agree, I should be charging more. I should be charging more. Da, 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 da. Sign up page. This one, right? Yeah. If you want to charge 1,000, then keep prices 99. It's marketing. Yeah, I mean those tricks. Yeah, but yeah, they don't really like. That's not the matter, right? Because the biggest thing is that I have this whole chaos in my mind. Oh, what to do? Do this, do this, do this, go do this, and I cannot structure it myself. This is the biggest problem. I cannot really structure it myself, um, and this is where you're supposed to have a mentor. So the mentor should go to you and organize these thoughts, or like tell you things that you believe that are wrong. And to find a mentor in programming is so much easier than find a mentor in business. This is the problem. How can I say newsletter without saying newsletter? This is terrible. This is terrible. Not Canva, ChatGPT. I want to say newsletter. Where's my link? It's the link. Read this. Happy to share. Yeah, I would say the post is doing great. I think it's fine. It's not awesome, not skyrocketing, but it's fine. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, so this is the emails that I want to write. And this is what we're going to be doing today. This is our plan. The problem is that with this plan, I need to decide what do I want to sell, right? Because if I'm going to be sending emails and telling people about the services that I have, then I need I need to know what kind of services that do I want to have, right? I'm trying to make sense myself with Epic Man High, with all the chaos that I have in my head, trying to make sense. Okay, so let me think. What would be the best outcome for me right now? What would be the best outcome? Um, what would be the best outcome? Let's say I think the best outcome. This this one. This is by far the best outcome because this is by far the biggest flexibility. What email service do I use? Um, I use Beehive. My eye. Use Beehive. What is the best outcome? The best outcome would be, for me right now, would be to have a small group of people, a small group of people who want to go from zero to being able to code. Let's let's write it down. From zero to coder, 5 people. Man, there's so many options. There's so many options. This is why I struggle. This is why I struggle. There's whenever I start thinking, do I really want to deal with people who are starting from zero? Let's say yes. Let's say yes. One year of training from zero to coder. um, First code. From zero to first code. So I don't say that those people will be able to go like in a couple of months to being like developers. That's not how it works. Or maybe is the student or you hiring people? No, I'm thinking what kind of clients do I want to have. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. The best clients that I have right now are not those who just started coding. Those are people who already know how to code. So I would say I would rather have like 3 then start with the end result, work backwards. I'm trying to understand what kind of like what do I want? That's the thing. Except so I definitely accept my goal is uh to go do like 1,000 a month quick. How do I want to do it? Do I want to do it with a small group of people or do I want to do it one to one? Okay, let's do it like this. One to one with people with coding knowledge. 2 hours per week. The cost is 600 per month. 2 hours per week. Let's say 2 hours per week. That would be 8 times so 600, 875. A little bit too cheap, but that's fine. Let's say I'm willing to make few compromises. 75 an hour, that's fine. That's fine. So this, if I find, let's say, 3 students, it would be a success. 3 students a month additional. Wait, wait. 2 students. That's what I want. This is my goal. That's my goal. I think it would be the best. Here, one-to-one mentoring. I changed my mind. I think mentoring would be better because it's much more flexible. It's much easier for me now to sell, and I have a huge amount of experience with this thing, and I know that it works. If the people are actually putting in the work, it's gonna work. So 600 a month, 2 students, 2 hours per week, one-to-one with people with coding knowledge. Yeah, that would be okay. So I think when I speak about it, I think this is actually what I want. This is actually what I want. This is my. That would be nice. It would be nice. And it's not that much of workload, additional workload. It's just 4 hours additional workload, and it's totally fine to have it. I'm gonna find the time to meet with them. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Of course, the question is how to find those people. That's easy to say. I want to have this. Now the question is how to find them. I wonder if already someone added in Beehive. I don't think so. Log in. Oh, look at this. People already add. Few people already joined. Nice. Marketing ads. Nah, no ads. Just emails. It's gonna be fine. What is Beehive? Beehive is basically where you send emails. Wait, how? Wait, how do they do this? This is exactly what I wanted like a month ago. That's exactly what I wanted. Interesting. Stripe. Yeah, but I didn't find a way to do it. Billing and then plans. I didn't find a way to do it. But anyway, that's not so important right now. That's not so important right now. Okay, so if we do that, I think I'm pretty sure about this part. I'm pretty sure that that would be the best the best use of my time and the best results for the people who are taking the mentoring. All right. So this one is set. That's what I want. The way we're gonna find them is with emails. So the first I'm gonna just brainstorm what are ideas for the email that I could send. Email ideas. Email ideas. Here's what I need to do in the emails. First, I need to show previous cases. Show previous cases / results. Second, show not ideas, but what to include, right? Show testimonials. Show program. CTA. And tell own story. So mentoring was my success as a developer. 600 a month. Who are you targeting? I'm targeting senior Salesforce admins with already some coding knowledge. Here I should actually write this down here. 1-1 with senior admins with some coding knowledge. Okay, so mentoring was my biggest success. And I mean, it's just true. Mentoring contributed the most to my success as a developer. If not mentoring, if I didn't have a mentor, I would be progressing like twice as slow. What browser do you use? I am using Edge on Mac. Email ideas. Now, definitely one of the email can be just story on how I become good at development, at Salesforce development. That would be story number one. The second email just brainstorming ideas, like the second idea, not even email. Hmm. So let's think what would be the what is the person can actually get out of those emails, right? Because those emails are not about me. Those emails about the person who is reading, and they're not about the person, but they are targeted on the person who is reading this, who are reading those emails. Mm, let's have a look at my posts on LinkedIn. Let's see what posts resonate with people, what don't. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, let me make a small. What Evelyn is saying, I was not selected this year, but I'm just happy to be there. Speaking of antics, I've been slowly reaching out folks to try out for because I want to make sure that I had people looked in the project from the jump. One of the biggest mistakes that nonprofit make is that they don't have voices from impacted communities involved from the start, and this often they're failing. That being said, I think all of the pieces are finally in place. So if you would like to be a part of initiative that seeks to provide certification or mentoring research for low income and marginalized individuals, look to break into tech and the Salesforce Simplest, get in touch. Totally. Totally. Evelyn, I'm supporting you. So, okay, what's that? I usually don't like accepting people without any any profile images at all. Let's see what posts are performing, what people are actually resonating with. Learning LWC as a beginner is a mistake. Oh, I know. I just got an idea. Uh, don't do certs. Focus on skills. Yeah, don't do certifications. Focus on skills. Okay. Some other ideas. As a beginner is a mistake. Okay. About LWC. About junior developer checklist. Coding consistently doesn't resonate that much. Git was fine. Here with the applying to the jobs was really bad. That was blah blah blah. Mistakes with Apex methods was okayish. Insights was good. This one people really supported me, which I really appreciate. These are top 5 tools for Salesforce developers. Okay. I would say another would be my, let's say, my mistakes. Let's say my 5 mistakes on learning Salesforce development. This one. Oh wow, trigger handlers were 2 months ago. It feels like it was just a couple of days before. Understand problem, plan, solve it. I would say another could be something like why you can't learn coding with tutorials. Doesn't mean I'm gonna write exactly these topics, but just shooting here ideas. Hmm. I actually like a lot some posts that I see here. I wonder, for example, why I never took this one post. I should repost it. It's like 5 months ago. Let me actually repost this thing. Let me repost this thing. And let me schedule it for let's do Tuesday. Tuesday 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. That was a really good post. And this is something if you're writing, 5 months ago I had like I think 6,000 less, 6 or maybe even 7,000 less people than I have now. So like 6 or 7,000 of subscribers didn't see this post. So it's totally fine to just repost this whole post. It's totally fine. Okay, let's see what do we have here. Salesforce development doesn't, and another life hack on LinkedIn. You can just comment on the people, and that's usually quite a cool thing. Oh, that's quite a lot. Salesforce development doesn't neatly fit within the confines of the traditional IT, but not for the reason you might expect. Let's explore why. Fast forward today. Let's read fast forward today. The modern IT team still prioritizes risk management and mitigation. Meanwhile, innovation team crave agility, occasionally embracing the move fast and break things ethos. My experience revealed that operating slowly within a command and control framework can hinder the. Sorry, Matt, I don't really get what you. What do you think was the best structure for Salesforce and other application? Sorry, Matt, I don't. Wait, Matt, right? Sorry, Matt, I don't get what you mean here. So I'm gonna skip this one. Can't comment on something that I don't really. I worked my ass off for 12 months as an unpaid assistant to my mentor. I slept 4 hours a day. My shoes had holes in them, couldn't buy new ones, stole bananas at the store to get food. I still kept working my dreams, working hard, and always pays off. Soaked every lesson from my mentor. Mentor said I'm ready. I became full-time coach for personal development and dating advice. Wow. Went 4 world tours, taught thousands of men and women on my seminar. Thanks to digital consulting, I met my first million at the age of 26. Now making 3-5 million a year, helping people become digital consultants while traveling my world with my girlfriend. It's going out. Hustlers, remember to never give up. It's always worth in the end. Okay, I see. I hope. I hope it's worth in the end. Would suck if it's not worth in the end. You struggle so much, and in the end, you end up with exactly the same as before, right? Would suck. But you see, there's no rule in universe that it can happen. You can just work your whole life, and then I don't know, just don't make it. That like, there's no rule that you have to make it. It's possible that you won't make it. Totally. Okay, advice. Yeah, still streaming. Yep, I'm still streaming. Full stack creator. Man, this is a really nice. This is a really nice domain. This is a really nice name. It's like full stack developer, but full stack creator. Nice. If you're a business owner, learn to write. If you're a writer, learn business. If you're the artist and the seller, you're unstoppable. I agree. Actually, writing something that I still didn't really fully learn. I do need kind of a couple of, let's say, I need to take a month and properly learn writing better than I do it now. Do a couple of courses, and then I'm gonna be much better in this. But as always, it always gets postponed. Hello, Alexander. We regret to inform that your nomination for MVP was not selected this year. Hmm. Interesting. How? Okay. I actually I don't get how people getting nominated uh to MVP, or like what do you need to do? What do you need to do if I want to get nominated? What should I do? Nothing? I don't know. Not that I really want to do it, but what if my launch system don't work? What if I lose face? Will my work every time I launch a course for myself or my clients? My mind plays tricks on me. Courses and cohorts are here to stay. And as for launches, the work when you follow a proven blueprint. I know that now. Let's convince my mind again. May the course be with you. In March, you'll open up 3 slots to work on your course, offer 1-to-1. 2 slots are already left building. Reply course to grab the last one. Nice. Yeah, I don't know, LinkedIn. I wish I would see some posts similar to mine. Someone on LinkedIn in Salesforce community. I wish there was more stuff. Okay, guys, you know what? I think that's enough what I have here. Let me start actually writing those emails. I'm gonna do like 5 minutes coffee break with because I do wanna grab a coffee and then we can go and actually write the emails. Alright. So, let me close this window. Okay. We're just discussing with my girlfriend what we want to do with the apartment because our neighbor is moving out. So we were thinking, should we go into the money saving mode, or should we take the whole apartment? Yeah. Alright, so the plan for today. Not for today, for right now. Let me check out first how it's going here. I see some people adding. Okay. Let's see if someone added here on the beehive. Nope. That's fine. Something that I'm really afraid about is that at some point LinkedIn will just say, hey, we don't really like your type of post, we're not gonna promote it anymore, we're not gonna show it to people anymore. And my whole business is gonna get down. That's what I'm afraid. That's what I'm afraid about. So I think I should put a little bit more emphasis on my actual newsletter. Yeah. And that's what I think. Okay, so the plan for now is I'm gonna be sitting here basically, and I'm gonna create emails to send to my email list. Some of them gonna be a little bit entertaining, but the main goal is to get 2 new clients. This is the main goal. Because if I don't get that new clients, like, what I'm doing here? Like, I didn't sell anything for 5 months. I need to get new clients. Let me check what you guys wrote me on LinkedIn. See you tomorrow, Darshan. See you. Thank you for watching the stream. So I'm gonna be streaming today until I actually write those emails, because I'm so fed up. I do need to find new clients. I do need to find new people. And you know what I have? I have a copy. So let's write the first email. Let me write the first email. Beehive. Where's the beehive? Start writing. Story on how I became good at Salesforce development. This is a really shitty type of title, but something that people get wrong about writing and editing is that first you need to basically take your mind and put everything that you have in your mind into words. And after you do that for enough posts, for like, let's say one post. Let's say you want to write one post. After you do it for one post, you just go and you take a break. Maybe for a day, maybe for like 30 minutes. But you take a break. And then you go back and you edit it. That's where you actually finish it. And you're gonna see so many mistakes, right? And before I actually start with writing, here's something that I wanna do before that. I wanna go and rewatch the best writing video that I saw in the recent time. And it's my first million. Yeah, this one. This is the best. This is the best that I have seen in probably in the last year.
What I'm about to say will win you the respect of your friends, a lifetime full of happiness, a villa in the Bahamas, and maybe a really good hair day too. I don't know if it's going to do any of those.
Part with this is with Hampton, we are appealing to a sort of a high simple. I'm not technical, and I'm the and
kind of like create an illusion of good thinking by using PowerPoint, and actually he forced everybody instead to write long form memos, basically narratives. And he's like, in the long form written word, there's no place to hide. There's no way to use design or good presentation skills to make it seem like this is more well thought through than it is. It either is or it isn't. You'll find out. So I think it works inside of companies as well as it does out externally to your customers and potential customers. So, all right, now let's get down to the actual tactics. So that's the theory. Now, how do you actually do it? So for me, all the work begins before I've typed a single word. And I always say you want to begin with the end in mind. What I mean by this is before I write anything, I first decide what is the reaction I want. I learned this from a guy named Chris Quigley. I don't know if you know Chris Quigley, but he was this character. He came to town in San Francisco from the UK, and he had an ad agency. And his ad agency did one specific thing. They would make videos go viral. And I remember talking to Chris, and I was like, wow, it would be awesome.
Let me archive all of this. MFM notes. Link.
Be awesome to do a viral video. That sounds like kind of like a lottery ticket thing. Like, what if my YouTube video just went viral and got millions of views? How crazy would that be? And I asked him, I go, what's your hit rate? Like, out of every 100 videos you do, how many go viral? 1, 2, 3 videos out of 100? And he's like, no, if we do 10 videos, 8 or 9 will go viral.
Really?
And I was like, what? And he's like, well, for 2 reasons. And he said, number one, we have a large blog audience. So we can guarantee the first 100,000 views, like it will get seen. It won't just get lost in the abyss of the internet of content. Like whatever we have, it'll get seen. He said, but that doesn't make it go viral. That just makes sure it gets a chance. Because the second thing is we always work backwards from an emotion. He goes, people will only share or act if they feel something at the end. So he created this thing that he had like LOL, WTF, OMG, like, something so cute, heartwarming. And so he's like, these are the only emotions that you can tap into. There's like 7 or 8 emotions that people can tap into. And he would work backwards. He would say, we don't write a script until we first pick the emotion. We're going for wow, or we're going for WTF, outrage. Oh, WTF, outrage. I'll give you an example of one that I just saw yesterday. Elon Musk tweeted out this thing that was some hidden like language in a bill, like a bill that's going through Senate right now, that was like, if the next president gets elected, and they decide to stop spending on the war in Ukraine, they could be up for impeachment because of the way this bill is written. and he was like, oh my God, the Democrats are baking this in to the bill. They're trying to pass this on page 140. They're trying to slip this right under your nose without telling anybody, and they're going to try to impeach Trump if he got elected and if he got peace in the Ukraine and stop the spending, he could be up for impeachment. And of course, the post goes super viral because it's outrage. It's outrage from the Democrats. It's outrage from the Republicans. That is engineered to go viral. And so similarly, Chris used to have a search engine. He used to be able. He created a tool internally for them where they could just search by emotion, and it would show them YouTube videos that are targeting that emotion, and they would use it when they would brainstorm. And so I stole this, and I would start with. I asked myself 3 questions. What is the reaction I want?
Begin with the end in mind. What is the reaction? What is the action? What is the takeaway?
That's always an emotion. The next one is, what is the action I want? So what do I want them to do after they read this? Like, click the buy button, click the share button, forward this to a friend, sign my petition, whatever it is. Who knows what it is? But what's the reaction? What's the action? And the last thing I say is, at the end of this, if they could just remember one line or one takeaway, one sentence, what would it be? What would I pick out of the
Yeah, this is the way I write hooks. I think like, what is the basically summary? If I could summarize my LinkedIn post in one sentence, what would it be? And that goes to the hook. Then what if they remember one line from the email? What would it be?
out of the whole thing that I just wrote, because people remember sentences, not books. And so you have to think about that. So I always begin with the end in mind. I decide those before I ever write a word. Do you do something similar?
I do the exact same thing. And typically I start with a headline and I start with the subheadline. So if you share on Facebook, the headline's the big text, the subheadline is the 180 character thing underneath that. Oftentimes I go back and I change the headline a ton. But that one sentence that I call the subheadline, that doesn't change. And that one sentence is what helps like clarify what I'm going to write. So I actually don't do outlines. So there's a lot of things that I think you're taught in 5th grade that I think are really stupid. One of them is an outline. I guess it's okay to teach that, but I don't use outlines anymore. And my outline instead is that one subheadline. That's what I use.
In fact, you brought up a good point, which is to be a great writer in the world, like as an adult on the, like, what do they reward in school? They're like, eliminate a bunch of write these long form. You want to be writing at a very like accessible language if you want reading level, if you want to do well on the internet. So, both you and I, we target kind of like 5th to 8th grade reading levels, and you can use these tools, these checkers, like Hemingway is an app that you can use where you can put in your text and it'll tell you you're writing at a 12th grade level or you're writing at a 5th grade level. And the lower the better is better on the
internet. And in the second half of this episode, let's go through all those like tips and tricks. Right. In terms of writing, my process is I do copy work, and then I draft, then I incubate, and then I edit. So what that means is copy work. It's the same way. It's this old technique that people have learned how to write. We don't do it anymore, but I find it to be the most effective way. I sat myself in a room for like 2 hours a day and did this for like 8 months in order to learn how to write. And copy work is basically when you take writing that you love. It could be a full book. It could be a script for SNL if you want to learn how to write comedy. It could be a blogger that you like. When I'm writing an important piece, I will just write maybe for 10 minutes. I literally take my pen and by hand, I copy someone else's writing that I really like, and that helps me get into the flow.
So what we said was, before you've written a word, like most people just sit down, they start trying to write. What we've told you is do 2 different things instead. Begin with the end in mind. What is the action, the reaction you want, and what would be the headline that would grab somebody?
Exactly what I do.
And then the second thing Sam's saying is, you don't just jump in like, if you're going to go do a workout, you don't just go start sprinting right away. You warm up.
I do warm-up sets.
And you do the same thing before you write a word of your own. You start by writing, but not your own words. You take some writing that you really like, that maybe you want to almost like through osmosis, just steal their little writing juju. It's going to go into your brain. You'll start to talk like them, write like them if you do this. And you literally write word for word exactly what they said. It's even more effective if you handwrite it, but at worst, type it. But you want to, don't think, don't add your own stuff, don't improve it. Just literally write word for word and do it for like even 10, 15 minutes. I still do this today. This is not like advice that I tell other people to do. I don't do. I still do this today. And Sam, you don't know this. I use one of your posts as one of my, I have like 3 go-tos. Really? One of yours is one that I use for my copy work. It's this one where I forgot the name of the blog, but I always search for it with the same headline, which is, let me be perfectly clear. You're reading this because I want you to. And you're like, I have.
Well, let's find this one. Is this one? Yeah, by Sempar. Let's get one. The anti-MBA. Sempar's blog about books, learnings, and Hi, I'm Sempar. Somehow you have found this page. I ended something. A few ways it could have happened. Sell the hustle. I host my first million. I mess around on Twitter. Nice. Okay. That's the one that Sean uses for warming up. Let's get one thing perfectly clear. You're reading this words because I want you to. The feelings you're feeling, the thoughts you're having, your reaction to the headline, your reaction to me talking about your reaction, it's all on purpose. I wrote a spell to make you read this. The spell makes you slowly scroll down this page to read more. Not because you're forced to, but because you want to. You're intrigued. And the best part of that, the world is blind to the spell. People rarely know it's working on them. The spell seduces people, and they love it. You love it too. You like reading these words. Likely for you, you can replicate the spell without much work. So here's the secret to spell. Whenever you write, act your writing to a 5th grade. Use words with only 1 or 2 syllables. Use short sentences. Use paragraphs that only have a few sentences. Remember, the point of the first sentence is to get you read the second sentence, and the point of the second sentence is to get you read the third sentence, and so on. A well-written email, blog post, or book creates slippery slope. The reader melts away into the copy. Now go on and use this tip today. It will work. And for the record, I don't consider myself a great writer. My grammar sucks, I am notorious for typos, but I am better than most. Why? Because I study humans and what makes them tick. If you're interested in learning what I know, here are 5 things I suggest you do. This is so good. What the hell? What we just read? This is so good. This is so good. Take Nevis Medora copywriting course. I have it. I bought it 2 months ago. Didn't open since. Read On Writing by Stephen King. The Adverb Copywriting Handbook, regardless if you write books or sales copy, okay. Read Influence by Robert. This is the greatest and most useful book I have ever read. Wow. Use Hemingway app while writing. Aim for a 5 grade. Man, this is so good. What? Comments are crazy. But this is super good. This is so good. This is really good. I would want to check out this course because I bought it, but I never opened it. I probably should do the course. But I cannot do it on the stream, right? This is real nice. Nice, this is really good. Let's still continue with this thing, and then maybe I just want to get back into actually writing good stuff. And I think something that I'm actually missing about is, hi Igor, I just found this video, wishing you all the best in the... Yeah, thank you, Salmon, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. If you want to hang out off the stream, join the Discord. Let's see what else they have. I'm gonna try to write a few emails like this. In fact, I'm gonna try to write 1 email like this with their tips, and then I'm probably gonna go and try to... You know what? I always wanted to buy this course. How much does it cost? 170. Maybe I'm gonna buy it. Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. I think I can do it. I think I'm gonna buy it off stream. Let me put here. Okay, let's see what this guy's saying.
I have engineered the start of this, and you basically talk about how you mesmerized them. You're like, every word of this was chosen, every sentence, to lead you to the next sentence, and I love that. We call it the slippery slope. And so I use one of yours whenever I want to write like in a really persuasive copywriting way. If I want to write more like business serious, then I have a different one. I use this one that the CEO of Slack did, where he wrote an internal memo that I really like called "We Don't Sell Saddles Here," but you literally just write a word for it. So that's your warm up. So again, 2 things before you ever write your own stuff.
It's exactly like playing music. Okay, so if you're when you're a beginner playing music, you just play other people's songs and then you steal a little bit. You're like, oh, I like this genre, this genre, this genre. I'm gonna combine it to my own thing. Same way where you're writing a new song, you kind of warm up, maybe playing the Beatles, and then eventually you're like, all right, I'm in the mood to write something beautiful.
Cooking.
This is what I'm gonna do.
You take someone's recipe and you make their recipe before you go make your own thing. You play a cover before you write your own songs. Same way, you do copy work before you write your own stuff.
The second step is actually where a lot of people get screwed up. So it's the drafting step. And the reason people get screwed up here is because they're afraid to look stupid. And the drafting step is actually where you're supposed to look stupid. And so whenever I draft something, I just bang it out as fast as I can, and it sounds really dumb. And I accept that it sounds dumb. And here's why. Because after the drafting step is the incubation period. You know, like, have you ever heard of like the phrase like shower thoughts, where you like think of silly things in the shower? I think there's like some science behind this. I forget what it's called, but it's like when you're out riding a bike and you're out going for a walk where you're just sitting things. I think it's called passive thinking. You actually get great breakthroughs. And so what I like to do is I draft my first thing. It doesn't take very long, and I know that it's bad, but I don't show anyone. Then I go for a walk, or I'll just sit. Sometimes do you do these things? And that's the final bit, and they get afraid and nervous, and they never write it, and they don't actually incubate, and they don't actually edit. Do you do these things?
100%. I learned this from you, the incubate part. When I would write.
I'll just hear a beautiful phrase and I'll write it down. So like I went to this guy's website and he was talking about the best like speaker system or something. And he started off the paragraph with, well, folks, it doesn't get any better than this. And I was like, oh, and beautiful. That's mine.
Yes.
And like, I just have this whole bank of like these things of people saying like cute phrases. And I'm like, oh, that's a beautiful, like I just felt an emotion when I read that. Basically, you have to think people are scrolling through thousands of articles every day. And if I see a line that grabs my attention, I know that's good. That's mine. That's mine. And I just have this whole bank of these. So let's move on to some more tips about talking about the actual writing part, because I think that what you're taught in school, we're basically going to say do the opposite of a lot of
here's the mistakes. Common mistakes. Mistake number 1. They start with a bunch of intro, context, background fluff. You wrote the tip is actually don't bury the lead. So the first sentence should punch. So try putting the most important sentence at the top. Try putting the most provocative statement at the top. Try putting the promise at the top, or the bait, the hook at the top. So as an example, you have one here that when you were building the hustle, one of the things you tried to do was these viral blog posts. You were like, I'm gonna write these blog posts. If I can get 1 million views on those blog posts and some percentage of them will subscribe, that's how I'll grow my subscriber base.
Right.
And I remember reading this, which was first sentence. I spent the last 30 days eating nothing but Soylent, a new age powdered meal replacement. Why would I do something so stupid? I'll explain. But first, if you're not familiar with Soylent, here's the gist. A great opener, right? Because rather than saying, the last few days have been really tough for me because I've been doing this new experiment. To give you background on who I am, I'm Steve. I'm a programmer here at this company, and I'm blah blah blah, boring, right? So instead, I spent the last 30 days eating nothing but Soylent. Why would I do something? I do something so stupid? Let me explain. And I'm blah blah blah, boring, right? So instead, I spent the last 30 days eating nothing but Soylent. Why would I do something so stupid? Let me explain. Curiosity. Has been created, and now really tough for me because I've been doing this new experiment. To give you rather than why would I do something so stupid? First sentence. I spent the last 30 days eating nothing but Soylent, a new age powdered meal replacement. Why would I do something so stupid? I spent the last 30 days eating nothing but Soylent, a new age powdered meal replacement. Why would I do something so stupid? I'll explain. But first, if you're not familiar with Soylent, here's the gist. A great opener, right? Because
That's right. That's thank you. I know for how long I would be still speaking if you didn't say it. Yes, it was indeed muted. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. It's really you can feel the flow, right? You can feel that no matter what exactly it is, but it's interesting. You're invested into the story.
And rather than saying, you know, the last few days have been really tough for me because I've been doing this new experiment. To give you background who I am, I'm Steve. I'm something so.
You're thinking about the lead. So I found it helps with a few things. One, if you're new, what I tell people is, let me see your opener, cut it in, like cut almost all of it except for like the last couple sentences, and that's typically a good trick. And the reason why I say that is when you're taught in school how to write, have you ever heard of like a thesis statement where you have like a opening paragraph with a thesis at the bottom, point
Yeah.
one, point two, point three, and then a closer? I'm like, just tell me your thesis statement right off, like just say that. Just punch me in the face with that. That should be your opening line. Another thing is I like to think of have you been to England and have you ever noticed they have signs that say I'm gonna punch you in the face to grab your attention, because that gets you to fall down the slippery slope. And the more that you fall down that slope, the further you're gonna continue to read. And so I want to grab your attention, but I don't want to tell you exactly everything, but I want to grab your attention by not bearing the lead, and I'm gonna get you to fall down this slope a little further.
Yeah, the simple test is take your hand, cover up all of the text except for the first two sentences. Read those first two sentences and be like, what if I didn't know me, if I didn't care about me, if I didn't have to read this, would I want to read? Would I need to read the next sentence? Not what.
Cover the first sentence. If I didn't care about me, would I want to read the next sentence? And that's also really, really good.
Not what I need to read the whole thing. What I need to read the next sentence. If it's yes, you've created a curiosity gap. Then you drag your hand down. You reveal that next sentence. You say, if I read this sentence, would I need to read the next sentence? Right? Would I want to know what's the next sentence? And then by the third or fourth time you've done that, now they're in. Now they're invested. Now you have a little more leeway to let it breathe and,
Yes.
and create a little bit of background because they're invested in getting to the end of the outcome. But like the reason this sounds so brutal, you're going to cover up. I say I'm going to cover up 85, 90% of the text. Yes, because the reality is that's actually how the reader's eyes work. 80, 90% of people are only ever going to read the headline. And if the headline's no good, they're never going to get to any of the other stuff. And so some people are resistant to write a juicy headline, but the reality is if it's not juicy enough, they'll never get to those great ideas that you have inside. You're sort of doing your own ideas a disservice. And so you want to find that line between like, without completely whoring yourself out or making a false promise, still find a way to make it juicy enough where you created that curiosity gap where I have to read the next sentence and that's it.
What I used to say was, it ain't clickbait if you're actually getting something like it. Bait means it's fake. So as long as I can say the truth, but I say it in a sensational or clicky way, we say clicky. It ain't bait if I actually deliver on the promise.
You have to pay it off.
Yeah.
If you don't pay it off, then
Yeah.
it's bad. But if you're paying it off and you're paying it off soon, you can't pay it off like 10 minutes later. You have to be able to do that. All right, next one is write like you talk. So many times people are like, I can't really, like, I'm not a good writer. And again, I'm not a good writer is actually code for I'm not a good thinker. And the way you test this is, cool, forget about writing it down. Just tell me. Like, explain it to me. Either they just say it out loud and I'm like, great, you wrote it. Just write that down now. Like, write down literally what you just said. You don't have to have like this second character, this Shakespeare inside you that writes in a completely different style and communicates completely differently than you actually talk. You don't need that. You actually want them to be very similar. It's actually the most engaging type of writing is when you feel like the author's just talking to you, having a conversation with you specifically. And so write like you talk is a good method, but it also reveals if you can't even talk about it, you're not ready to write it yet. You got to first be able to like explain it just in plain language yourself.
What I tell my team, so they'll like write this huge thing and ask me to read it, and I'm like, I don't really want to read this. Just tell me what it means. And they'll say in one sentence, I go, okay, cool, that's your first sentence. And that's probably all you need to say for this thing. But like, there's a few ways to figure out what not to do. One is you go to people's LinkedIn. If they use the word utilize, that's probably not good. Have you ever heard someone say they utilize or they did? Like, what are other like LinkedIn jargon? LinkedIn's like
that's so good. We should make a LinkedIn hit list of just bullshit words that nobody ever says, but people think it's okay to write.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I've never heard you use that word utilize.
Right.
The second thing to remember is there's informal can be professional. A lot of times people think informal is the opposite of professional, and I actually say that's nonsense. And I'm going to actually show examples of how that's not true in a few minutes. But and another good line that I think about is it was Stephen King. He says, any word you have to hunt in a thesaurus is the wrong word. There's no exceptions to this rule. And so like if you have to like look up like what a word means, you don't use it. You want to use words that most everyone uses. And I'm gonna show you examples of really complicated stuff explained in a really simple way. Like here's a really good example of writing like you talk. So one of my favorite pieces of writing is Louis C.K. So Louis C.K. about 10 or 15 years ago, he used to release his own specials like on his website. And if you Google Louis C.K. Neville Medora or something like that, you'll see my friend Neville wrote a blog post about some of his stuff because it's actually not up anymore. But he's got this great line in one of his bits. He says, or one of his landing pages, he goes, please don't torrent this special. If you want to share it, direct people here. It's so easy just to drop $5. We don't make you join anything. We let you download any file you want. It costs a shitload of money to make these specials, and I do it myself. I love offering it to you directly for so cheap and so easily. And I would like for that to continue being a good idea. That's a great, simple way just to say, don't steal. And that makes me feel, I'm like, all right, you're right. I should abide by this. You are exactly right. There is no jargon, simple language.
Yeah, 100% agree. I also think that, this also works for choosing what to write about. So, for example, sometimes people will write about shit that they would
complicated topic, I went and put his stuff through Hemingway app as well. Same thing, 6th, 7th, 8th grade reading level. And it teaches you how to write at that level. And there's tactics on how to do that, like don't use adverbs, keep sentences short. But Hemingway app is an awesome way to
Check.
to check, to do it for you.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Another one that you wrote in here.
Okay, so here editing tips. Let's see. How do you say don't bury the lead? I don't understand what means don't bury the lead. That's, I don't know. I know that they try to do 5th grade, but probably that's way too advanced for my English. I would say write a good hook. The second one is write like you talk, and the third one write simple, and the first one is tell a story.
Wrote in here is about storytelling, and so I think storytelling is now like kind of in the more advanced, a little more advanced category of
Active at Coco's. Listen, sweetie.
Conscious type of reaction of like,
and like, you're wrong.
Asshole.
But let me fill you in on the results. So I wrote the blog.
Somebody has an
intention and obstacle. I think so. I already watched this video. That's why I'm listening it to 1.5, because it's I know it's I'm used to listening to 1.5 because that's the way I listen to most podcasts. I don't know, you can just stuff much more. Basically in 1 hour you can listen to our podcast. So I kind of like it. And I used to do it. And I already watched this video, so that's why I'm basically like quickly going over the most interesting moments that I think are the most helpful for me. And for now, what I'm gonna do is taking these notes, I'm gonna try to craft an email, and the email will be to a topic. What is the topic that I wanted to write? Let's take the story on how I got good at Salesforce development. Story on how I got good at Salesforce development. And as always, first step is just to write a draft. You don't need to write anything fancy. You just need to write a draft. Let me write here email. And this is actually hard. It is hard. So I get good at Salesforce development through mentoring. There are only few things that you can in theory. So there are only few things that you in theory. Let me just speak it out actually. Let me speak out my thoughts, and that's gonna yeah, I think it's gonna systemize a little bit what I have in my head. So basically there are a couple of ways you can get better at any skill, right? Practice, mentoring, courses / groups, communities, projects on the job, and just projects in general, right? I would say 6 things, right? There's only that you can at any skill. Let's call it at at coding. Projects. Projects. Courses. Communities. Your job. And mentoring. Those 5 things. Yeah, this is what I don't like about this view in... Yeah. It's quite bad. Okay. Is by far the most influential for me. Influential for me. All I know, my whole... So here's... Okay, let me speak again. So here's how it basically happened. I worked at one company, and I was basically thrown into the projects. So they had a little bit of an onboarding time, and then they threw me onto like real projects. And I struggled. I struggled so much. I struggled really a lot. And I knew that I was not profitable for the company because the company was quite small. So I knew that I am not making the money that they are actually paying me, that I'm actually draining the money from them. And it wasn't that great because I had a connection. Basically, I was kind of hanging out with the founder, and it felt really bad that basically I'm just burning his money. And I was trying to get better. I was trying my best. I was working as much as I physically could. I was working. I was trying to do the projects. I was spending all my free time on getting better at Salesforce development, and I just couldn't get better. I couldn't. And then I burned out. I felt so bad for all of this. I felt a lot of pressure, and I felt like I'm working so much time without actually moving anywhere. And then I decided to switch the company. So I switched the company to another company. And that was really unexpected. But within 2 months, within the first month, within even the first month, I was profitable as a unit. I was making more money for the company, for the second company, than I was getting paid, which is what you want. As a developer, your task is to actually make money for the company. If you're working, especially in consulting, your task is to make money for the company that you work for, not for yourself. You need to earn, let's say, double the amount of money that you're earning for the company, because there's a lot of stuff that is getting into the building the infrastructure of a company. So it's a big deal. So you should be profitable if you're doing like double of your salary. So in the first month, I was profitable. And the reason for that was because I got a mentor, a senior developer. And this senior developer, by just tweaking my thinking here and there, showing me basically like 5 times different things, he just taught me how to do all of this. Like my progression was so quick that it's crazy. I wanna draw you how much of a difference it was. My at least perceived difference. Okay, one. So let's say this is my skill this time. I felt like I'm growing like this on the first job because I didn't really have I did have a mentor, but the mentor didn't really have time to deal with me. And as soon as I switched the company, the growth was like this. So what happened here is that I got a mentor here. Got mentor. So all of this here, it was this growth was because I was missing this one part. Got not only mentor, but like I got a really good mentor. He was really excellent at programming in general, but most importantly, he was really good at the mentoring himself. And then of course at some point you also it kind of plateaus because at some point the mentor kind of taught you as much as the mentor knows, or as much as you can be taught in a mentoring way, because there's a lot of things that you cannot be taught in a mentoring way. There's a lot of things that that you only can go and experience. Yeah, so that was my experience with mentoring. Now let me put it on the paper here. Working in many roles, working sales, consulting, programming. Trying to make it as a fresh developer. And still, I was failing one task after another. I was getting better, but it's very frustrating. anxiety and frustration won. I mean, it's not overstatement to say that it was truly life changing. This thing, if I didn't get exactly that mentor by that time, I don't know if I would be where I am now, because this mentor, he really saved me. He really showed me the way in programming. In fast forward 2 years after that event, I was working with one of the best companies in Europe. I was working at a really good company here as a developer. Nice office in the center of Munich. Um, I delivered over $500,000 in total of the project values. I worked with some companies. If you go to the supermarket in Germany, or if you go anywhere, like walk over in the streets, you will see those companies that I worked with. It was so awesome, and that was because of this one mentor. Like, that's crazy how it changed everything. Yeah, pieces. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. The same word for me. Taught me all the missing pieces and showed how he's writing code in real life. That's the power of mentoring. Yes, you can learn everything on your own, but it will take you so much longer. So much longer. If you're really serious about the path, getting a good mentor is the biggest life hack. It's the biggest life hack. It is the biggest life hack. Like I'm sure about that. And now we need a CTA, right? And I don't know here the notes. What is the reaction? What is the action? What is the takeaway? What is the reaction? No idea. What is the action? Take my mentoring. If you want. If you want, let's say, I just have a Valdez finishing my mentoring. So there is one place available to work one-on-one with me. If you are interested, apply here. This is a draft. This is a draft. So this is not I would say I will cut out this part. This is a nice coherent story, and I don't need all this pre-story, and I need to make it more. Yeah, I need to edit it, but I think it's a good draft. Like, this is a good draft. I'm still gonna refine it tomorrow. But I think it's actually good. And then maybe I'm gonna include this image here. This one. Yeah, I think it's good. Well, I guess I think that's gonna be enough for today, and I'm gonna let you know how those emails are going. So my focus getting few more clients, and then we can go back on track with the platform, because I don't want to get insolvent. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Thank you everyone for sticking for that long, and if you want to join here the Discord if you want to hang out in the meanwhile. Thank you everyone, and see you tomorrow.